Good evening. Wave to me. I like when you wave back. Happy Palm Sunday, everybody. I have an announcement in the slides, but obviously next Sunday is Easter Sunday. So our Sunday night training next week will be Monday night. Okay, so we'll send out a reminder later in the week, but we definitely not doing a training on Easter night. But anyway, I want to get right into the slides, and we want to spend a little time tonight talking about the big product sale that's going on. It's been spectacular for me in April, and I don't know if Catalina's on here yet, but we still got, well, I guess 2.5 days to go, and she's up over $4,000 already this month, just over last month with the sales. So let me go to share my slides. Okay. Okay. April, is that good? Can everyone see that?
Yep.
Okay. So, like I said, momentum has started and the this big sale has really helped. And we're going to talk a little bit about that because, the company never puts the products that are on subscription, they never put them on sale because that's just not smart to put the Protandim or collagen or the new gut health product, the P84. It's just not, those are subscription products. Those are our best sellers. But we have about 20, 25 other products. And I'm telling you, when there's sales on that, you can really boost the volume and give customers and consultants, a great price. And we'll cover that in a second. But um, Power Hour again is every Monday at 4 o'clock Eastern. And that's been working out real well with people getting prospects exposed to both the products and the business side of things. So that's the same Zoom number that we're on here. Okay. The same number to log in for tonight is the same login on 4 o'clock on Mondays. Um, Please make a note of this, and you may have read it on email, you may have seen it on Facebook, but there's two really big announcements coming after we close the month out on the 31st, which is Tuesday night, on April 1st, followed by another one on April 2nd. Okay, now I don't know exactly what it is, but I did hear one thing. Okay. I know one of the announcements has to do with earning serious extra cash for building our businesses. I don't know what else it is. I've heard Lisa Barnes was working on a product. I've heard a million rumors. I have no idea what they're going to announce, but I believe one of the things is an opportunity for all of us to earn extra cash building our business above and beyond, what we currently get paid. Registration is still open for Las Vegas for the big convention coming up for a couple more days. It ends on April 1st. So the only way to get registered for the event after that is if someone that already has a ticket is not using the ticket and you buy it from them. So if you're thinking of going, get the ticket before April 1st ends. Okay. As you know, the event is April 16, 17, 18. And we have over 25 registered so far from our team going. Motivational Mondays. That's the 12 p.m., 12 noon call Eastern time. It's 9 o'clock on the Pacific coast, but this is our last Monday. April and I have been hosting it all month in March. A new executive will take over for April, but it's at 12 noon. Okay, there's a special login. This is a phone call, a conference call on the phone, not a Zoom. And obviously, it's about sharing great stories and testimonies every week. This week's topic, I wasn't quite sure what to name it. In my mind, it's really about aging on your own terms or lack of aging on your own terms. And it'll be Dr. Castori. We figured out the login issue from last week, so she will be on. and Lynn Colombato, who I know is on the call tonight also. They will be the two guest speakers for tomorrow. But the special training for tonight, after we go through the announcements and stuff, is going to be about how to maximize this big product sale that the company announced last week. I mean, it's only been a couple days now we've been doing it, but I'm telling you, it's a momentum builder. It's a rank advancer. It's a money earner. It is just a big deal. And one of the key things about having lots of consultants in the business is that consultants have a tendency to use a lot more products and a lot more diversity in the products that they use. They don't just use collagen. They don't just use, the mind body. They don't just use the gut health or the pro tandem. They tend to use the skincare and the shampoo and the Axio products and the Phyto B. They use a lot more. So when a sale comes on, there's a lot of big purchases that get made and volume goes through the roof. Now, I hope that stunned your eyes a little bit. I tried to make it like an Easter egg, okay? But in observance of the Easter holiday I mentioned earlier, next Sunday night's Fast Start training will be Monday evening, the 6th, instead of at 8 o'clock instead of Sunday. And really just, I know it's Happy Palm Sunday today, but enjoy the Easter holiday and the whole Holy Week with your friends and families, and we'll pick up the training the following night on Monday. Okay, this is the training tomorrow. And if you've been on the Monday calls, it's just a half hour. It's sometimes it's 25 minutes, sometimes 31, 32 minutes, but it's two or three stories. And the key is it's stories. And the one thing about this business is technical things get lost and ignored and not remembered, but stories live in people's hearts forever. They remember stories that move them. And we've tried to do that all month this month. And tomorrow we'll have Dr. Castori and Lynn sharing some stories about just, the way they live their lives at the mature ages that they are. Okay, I'm just going to leave it at that. And it is so far beyond what is normal for people that are their age. It's so out of the box, and it's because of these products. And these are the kinds of stories that you should want to just tell everybody you know about because of what these products do. And let's face it, folks, we're all here to earn money. We started a business to earn money, okay? But you gotta be selling something that people want and something that works. And there isn't anything that people want more than good health, wellness, activity, and aging backwards, okay, to have the opportunity to earn the money they want to earn and add to their income. So tune in. They are recorded so we can get to them and share them with other people, okay, whenever we want to. Okay, it's in a call library and we can always get to them. Okay, this one, and I'm sure April will say a little bit about this. This one just is blowing my mind right now. I've been back on it and I can feel a difference for about a month now, but I want you to keep something in mind. This product, our GLP-1 product, is now 40% off until March 31st. And there's a new lower price coming next month, a permanent price. But last week when we talked, it was 20% off. Okay, it's been another 20% because when all the products went on sale, they allowed the additional 20% to come off of this too. So what you're looking at, and I'm going to show you some prices, and I'd like you to take screenshots. And starting with this one, take a screenshot. But we're talking about a consultant being able to purchase the MB Core product, okay, the Mind Body GLP-1 product for $96 for a month, okay? That's the consultant price. $96. Even the full retail price is only 119. The subscription price is 107. I mean, we're talking about when this came out, it was 199. Okay, it's almost half price. And we are right in line with what the shots cost. But only we got a healthy, safe, natural way of dealing with the GLP-1 hormone versus injecting poison into our system. So, this is a big one, folks. You should be jumping all over this one. I know we are. Okay. As I said, Las Vegas, you see it, it's 17 days away. 3 days left to register and 17 days away, and we can't wait to get there. Okay, same thing, Power Hour tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern. It's an hour we work together to build our businesses, reach out on social media, do all kinds of different things to reach out to people to share our products and our opportunity with them. Okay, that's what it's all about. So it's every Monday at 4, and the Zoom ID number on this is the same one you used to get on the training tonight. Okay, so take screenshots of these next two slides. I I went in and I got all the calculations of what the products that are on sale, what they cost when we get our 20% discount. Now keep in mind, folks, you and I know, we all know what we pay for the products. Our consultant prices are 20% off now. So whatever we pay, okay, had been paying for the next 3 days, we can get an additional 20% off. So the Fido B with the discount is just $35. The Fat Burn is just $49. The Icy Bright, probably the greatest sleeper product in our line. Man, you should hear the testimonies that come from people that are struggling with their eyes and eye health and eyesight. Amazing results we hear. The Axio X, I'm hearing all kinds of stories with that. Matter of fact, Allie mentioned last week, she is using that, she is mixing that with the Mind Body. Okay, my thing is, wow, it probably tastes like a creamsicle. You're adding that orange energy drink to the vanilla powder. I told her I'm gonna try it that way. The Axio itself for a month is $52. The skincare line, the cleanser is 22. The night cream or hydrating cream is 57. The renewing cream is 48 and the lift is 35. So, keep in mind the discounts are on individual products. If you're buying bundles, they are already discounted, so you don't get the extra 20 off of that. But this is a chance to fill in with the individuals. If you use something a little more than you use something else, okay, it's just a great opportunity to take advantage of that. Pet Tandem with the discount is just $24. That's for anyone that loves their puppy dog. Okay. And I know people give it to their horses and people give it to their cats too, but it was originally designed for dogs. The shampoo is 29, conditioner is 30, the daily wellness is 42, the prebiotic is 35. The AM and the PM are each 24. The ProBio is 35. And there's the big one. Okay, MB Enhance or Mind Body GLP-1, 40% off, $95. Okay, $95.99, $96. Or Omega is $30. So I may have missed a product or two, but these are the majority of the ones that we all use outside of Protandem and collagen and the gut health product, the P84. So April, I hope I left you some time there. April has some tips. Again, Easter egg colors. April has some tips for you on how to maximize this special product sale that's been going on, well, we got to go all out for the next 48 hours. We've had about 3 days with it already. And I'm going to stop sharing here. And April, the screen is yours.
All right, thanks. How's everybody doing? I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I always treat these sales and everything like an event. I'm big on events and stuff, and so I think this has got to go back here. Okay, so I'm going to talk about ways that we can connect and reconnect with people. And, even today, I reached out to a lot of people, and I hesitate sometimes to, particularly on a Sunday, I go probably more carefully than normal because I know people celebrate Sunday in different ways. But this is just so exciting. And to me, this is another event. This is very much, like our launch, like, even these Monday calls. I can't tell you how many times some of these I've had the replays, and just sharing testimonies that people gave me and stuff. But I'm going to talk about quickly some scripts that I've been sending out. And these are scripts that I sent out, but it dawned on me as we go through this, there are many ways that we can connect with people, but it's time that we go ahead and reconnect. Again, I've said time and time again, we're in the networking business. And so the more reach outs, the more touches we do for people. And I do meet gentle touches just to see how people are doing and, how we might be able to help them is, we just need to connect. So, go through your current customers, your consultants. And by this, and I'll show you examples of each of these as I run through them. But it's to me, it's more meant to check in, of course, with your current customers and consultants, to educate, particularly those that maybe aren't on this Zoom every week. We have a lot of them that, don't always get on a Sunday night call. And, with email, who knows how much they see of what the company. I've had some consultants that did not see the email from the company. We all just get so much stuff. It gets overwhelming at times. But I use this as a time to be able to educate and possibly upgrade based on all the products, including the new products we have too. So there's lots to talk about with people, but we have to make a point of doing it. Re-engage with your old customers. This is a great time just to be able to reach back out, particularly maybe if they were on a product and they stopped using it, particularly the GLP-1. Maybe it got a little costly for them and this is a better time for them. Definitely, reach out to re-engage with your old customers, customers and consultants. You can look in the app and you can literally put down whatever product you're searching for, if it is the Mind Body or if it's fat burn or whatever, and you can see, which of your customers and which of your consultants have ordered that product. So that makes it super quick, particularly if you want to get them to take care of this GLP-1 right away. That's a way for you to kind of narrow down who's used what products and whatnot. Look through old contacts that maybe you spoke to but didn't order. Again, this is just a great way to bring it, newer, lower price. I know a lot of people were excited about the price. That made a huge difference to them. It's a huge savings. So they were super excited about that. And then it's a great time to reach out to new people because you're excited. Anytime you're excited about something, that's a great time to start talking to more people. So this was my, and these are actual examples that I've done the last few days. This is Educate and Upgrade. I'll tell you a little bit about her. She's a current consultant. She orders the Tri-Synergizer for her and her husband every month, has been on the Mind Body, lost 10 pounds. And she's a tiny little thing. So I don't really think she needs to lose any more weight. But, I just always want to let them know. I don't want to ever not tell somebody about the sale. So I want to make sure that everybody knows. But I was like, hi, Debbie. Not that you need it because I see her on Facebook all the time. You look fabulous. But I left the T out. The Mind Body GLP is 40% off. And I would have a regular smiley face when I'm texting, and then I mentioned, again, this is Educate. We also have the Great Doctors Conference call on the GLP and the cholesterol if you've not seen it. Well, she had not seen it and she absolutely loved it. So, again, these are just quick text messages. She also, I followed up just a little while ago, went into the back office. She did order GLP-1. So, this is the kind of stuff that I do. So again, she's an existing customer. Existing consultant. She's kind of like, a glorified customer. She's a consultant, doesn't do a huge amount of business, but a huge fan of the products. So this is Reengage. And I said, hi, Shelly. Shelly is actually a chiropractor. So don't really talk to her a lot because she's super busy, but whenever I do text, she does get back. So I like to keep her, engaged. She also is a huge fan of the Tri-Synergizer and particularly the NAD. She's really hot on the NAD and shares a lot of that. So I said, it's April. I hope all is well. I'm not sure if you saw, and again, she had not. So I said, lots of the products are 20% off and the GLP is 40% off. She had used the GLP-1, but again, super excited about NAD and the conversations we had on that. I said, $95 for consultants. Let me know if I can help with anything. We've added products too. So if you want to catch up, please let me know. So we did have a conversation on this. And like I said, she really likes the NAD and the Synergizer packet is really her thing. But you know what? It's always great to have a reason to be able to reach out to your people and make sure, that they know about what products and, where you can fill in some of the blanks because we have so much going on. Sometimes when people they're consultants, they're doing some business, but they may not be. And Bobby and I have a lot of these, a lot that are not on the call, but they're still consultants. And, I never know. And a lot of times when I do these calls, and I do them all the time, but whenever I have time, I'll sit down and make calls. I always get more sales. And what it does is not only today, but the next week or so, because I put our name, Bob and April Wagner, back in front of there with our products to remind them that, yeah, these are really great products. And maybe I shared a new tidbit or something with them. So, these little text messages, little calls, I prefer to call. But these are all text messages that literally I just did today. So, Bobby said, can you add something to the training? I'm like, yeah, I can add my text messages of what I did. So old contacts. Okay, so this is somebody that showed some interest in the GLP-1, I think, I don't know, maybe about 6 months ago, 8 months ago, did not buy it. So I said, hi, Kiara, it's April. I hope all is well. I wanted to let you know we have a huge sale on all our products, but especially the MB. And I always put the natural GLP-1 because they probably don't know what the mind body is. They don't know what MB is. So again, I'm always clarifying that it's the all natural GLP-1 because people know GLP-1 and the fact that we have the activator and we're not supplementation, that we're getting amazing weight loss. Again, I put weight loss because that's what we talked about. I said only 107. And this is where you kind of got to know your people or have some good notes or something. But I said, let me know if the timing is better. At the time when we talked about this product and for a period after her mom was in and out of the hospital. So it really wasn't even the best time for her to focus on herself. She was more focused on her mom. So I've not heard back from her yet. But again, this is just the kind of contacts and the kind of messages that I am sending out to different people to let them know what's going on. And this is for new peeps. And this is what I sent out. I said, hi, Rachel, it's April. How are you? I'm not sure if you're interested, but with the summer right around the corner, I know I'm excited. So, again, excited and sharing that. We have phenomenal natural GLP-1 product I want to tell you about, especially since it's 40% off now. I haven't promoted it much because it's on the expensive side. Would you like to hear more? If not, no worries. And so that's what I was sending out to people that maybe I haven't had a conversation about weight loss in particular. Maybe we've talked about other things, maybe, met them on social, talking about aging, whatever I might be talking about. But again, this is a message. Now, you may not be comfortable with any of my messages, and I'm going to give you a way to kind of cheat that and figure out what's best for you. If you go to chatgpt.com and put in this case, I could say, I want to talk to Rachel. I know Rachel is a mom with 3 kids. She doesn't work. I think she might be interested in losing. You can put in as much stuff and ChatGPT will help you put a message together, so you don't have to do like a copy and paste of this. I try to add a personal spin to every message based on how I know them. I don't do a copy and paste. And again, I do sometimes have typos, but isn't that the real world too? So, but this is what I would do to new people. And then lastly, it always gets back to this. The more conversations you have, the more money you make. There's no shortcuts. So, and by conversations, they just need to be reach outs, just reaching out to people. Hey, how are you doing? How's the kids? How's work? Something will always come up where you can say, hey, I might have something that'll help you with that. Would you be open to taking a look at a video? Bobby can tell you I've made a big effort of, being out locally lately. And, it's been so easy just to collect numbers and that line and get back to whatever reason it had to be, whether it was, my PT or looking for a place for my mom or wherever I've been out, somehow the conversation came up of either they asked what I did, or I asked them a little bit about what they're doing, or we were talking about health or whatever. Something always comes up. So, our big thing is to train our ears and our listening. There was I'm going to show it another night. There was a great message that came through today about how listening, and Bobby can tell you, I took a call. We don't work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We work whenever. And so I think that's best, particularly when you're in this business, because when people get started, they're already working during the day when, Bobby and I don't have to work. So we have that flexibility. We don't see them Monday through Friday. So, a lot of times these little holidays will pop up on us and we don't even know it's a bank holiday because every day is kind of like a holiday. But last night we were on our way to hear one of our friends play, and I took a call from somebody. And I kid you not, I listened to the gentleman for about 20 minutes, and Bobby's like, "You didn't really get in a word in edgewise." But you know what? I got all the information that I needed from him. He kind of sold himself. And my last comment was, all right, I'll send you all the packages. We'll get back tomorrow and we'll decide where you're starting. So, we do need to allow people to talk so we can find out where they're coming from, what's going on with their life. And when you hear enough, that's your information to help them close, because you can remind them that, look, this was your original thought. This is why we started talking. This is what we need to change in your life. And I have a way that I can help you with that. So, more conversations, yes, but do make sure first and foremost that you're listening to people. So I'm going to stop the share and we're going to get that back to you, Bobby. So, all right. So again, those are just a few different ideas and they were just text messages today. Like I said, I really kind of tread light on Sundays because, it's kind of weird on Sundays. Some people are open to talking. They're so busy at the week. I mean, I can tell you, particularly when we were heavily dealing, with physicians and stuff, some were like, only call me Monday through Friday. And others were like, don't ever call me Monday through Friday. So until you get to know a person, it really gets a little complicated. So that's why I did the texting today. But you know what? Everybody can do the texting. I do prefer to pick up the phone. I can hear more in the phone, what's going on and stuff. But I had the time this afternoon. We actually needed the downtime. We played in a pickleball tournament Friday night. Then I had a regional tournament for tennis on Saturday morning. Then we had music with our friends Saturday afternoon, Saturday eve. So it was a really busy weekend. But you know what? I had the time, so I did the texting and stuff. So anyway, I don't know if you guys have any questions or anything, but ChatGPT is just a wealth of information if you're not comfortable. And the way they spit it out the first time, if you're not comfortable, add more information and say, I'd like this a little bit more humorous, a little bit more polite, a little bit more informative, a little bit more casual, whatever your feeling is. If you're not a person that can figure out these scripts, and worst case, call Bobby and I. I think we'll do a lot of that tomorrow on our power hour, just, because we all have so many reach outs. One of the blessings about being our age and being around for decades and decades is we've got lots of contacts to talk to, and it's just a matter of staying in touch with them. So, Bobby?
Yeah, so one other thing, if you have anything, just put it in the chat. But obviously it's Holy Week, it's Palm Sunday, Easter's coming up, but it's the beginning of spring. The weather's going to be getting better if it hasn't already gotten better, where you are. And it's a time to really make a point of getting out again and getting around people again. And April just mentioned, but I mean, we are really on a roll with meeting new people, and it's so much fun. I just had a scenario. We played in the playoffs in a pickleball tournament Friday night, and this was a team where when I joined the league, okay, I told April I was joining a mixed doubles league. It was as an extra, I didn't have a team. Okay, we just wanted to play. And I know the president of the league, and I said, hey, if there's enough to put a team together, just let us know and we'll play. And sure enough, a couple weeks later, he says, hey, he says, I got three or four couples that want to play. We're just going to make a team out of you. And we decided to name ourselves the Misfits because nobody knew anybody and we all just got thrown together. And the age on the team varied from about 30 to 67. Okay, so it was a wide variety of ages. It was just a whole mishmash, but we made the playoffs and almost won the gold medal, and it was really fun. But soon as it was over, one of the guys reached out and said, hey, is anyone playing in the next league for the summer? And I'd been back and forth with it, and I had entered to be, for the next season, which starts in about a month. I had done it, but I knew the guys on my team we're going to be traveling most of the summer because it wasn't going to be Friday nights. It was going to be Saturday mornings. And I just know these guys, they're wealthy people. They have homes in other places. They were going to be traveling. So I was kind of up in the air with it. And all of a sudden this guy reaches out and I'm like, okay, we got enough to play. And then he just reached out again. He says, hey, I have a friend I met about 6 months ago. He's a little younger, but he'd like to play. And I'm like, well, another new body. First of all, he's a new body. Now he's bringing another new body. And you just keep meeting new people. And you've heard me say this before. This is a business that's social. And yes, we advertise. Yes, we do things on social media. Yes, we do a lot of stuff like that. But there's nothing better than meeting people, okay, naturally. Okay, meeting them naturally where you have credibility and stuff. And we had another scenario where we went to see a friend play. He's a one-man band. We've known him for years. And we ended up meeting his partner and got into a whole conversation about, health and wellness and longevity and stuff. And then there was another lady that April was talking to Friday night, and long story short, and you never talk about women's ages. I know that's against the law. You just don't bring that one up. Okay. But this lady came up to me while April was playing and said, I don't think anyone has shocked me more than the conversation I just had with April. And I said, what did she do? She told me how old she was. And she thought she was, I'm just going to say 20 plus years younger. Okay. And I'll just leave it at that. But again, people after people after people after people. And I just want to encourage you, whatever it is that you like to do, that you find fun, go do more of it. Okay, whatever that thing is. If you're a softball player, if you like to bowl, if you play pickleball, tennis, golf, whatever. Okay, we love the beach. You know that. We've talked about it all the time. We hang out at the beach and work from the beach a lot of the times. But whatever you like to do, go and get yourself around other people that like to do it too. And you'd be amazed at how easy it is to get into conversations, good, nice, natural, easy conversations that, hey, what do you do? Hey, where are you from? Hey, and it goes from one thing to the next. And before you know it, okay, well, we own a health and wellness business, and sometimes I'll say it's one of those pyramid things. Sometimes I'll say it's network marketing. It just depends on the personality that I'm talking to. But I let them know what we're doing and how much fun we have doing it. And we're headed out to Vegas. We went on three all expense paid trips that the company paid for last year. We get all that stuff in there. And then if they want to bring something up, they bring it up. But, it's easy to hibernate in the winter when it gets cold, but that's not the case. Well, in most places, that's not the case. There's still some areas that are a little chilly, but thank God Florida's not one of them anymore. Please get out there amongst people. Okay. We have what everybody wants. They want to live longer, healthier, active lives. And we have the other thing that people need, more money. Okay. Everything costs more and we live longer, which means our retirements don't go as far as they were intended to go. So an extra 2, 3, 4, 5,000 a month would make anybody happy. Okay. And even if they didn't need it, they'd find a place to spend it. Okay. They'd find a place to spend it. Everybody. So let's just share the information. But anyway, that's it for tonight.
Hey, Bobby. I
Oh,
can see Wayne in the back. Wayne, happy birthday tomorrow.
hey, Wayne, happy birthday, buddy.
I know he's going to be 29 again.
Yeah, 29 for, I don't know, the 30th time or something. That's all good,
Yeah.
though.
And Allie's is the day after.
Allie, happy
Oh, happy
birthday.
birthday,
You're not
Allie.
going to show us your face, Allie?
So Allie, D, I, Wayne, we're all celebrating our
And
birthday in
then since
Vegas.
April wasn't going to say it,
Yeah.
okay, April's birthday is
April's
on
birthday.
Thursday.
And
Okay.
Yeah.
D's is
So
is the 6th. So we're
Yeah,
all
mine's
celebrating in Vegas together.
We're
So
all going to celebrate, yes. And
Yep.
mine is on that Monday night call training, so I probably won't be there because it's my 60th.
oh.
Or if you
Mine's
do,
Tuesday.
just show us your adult beverage. That's all,
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
all.
Happy birthday, Cheryl.
But anyway,
Thank you.
two things to keep
Same
in
to
mind.
you.
We are closing out the month, the next 2 days. The sale is only for the next 2 days. And then keep in mind, April 1st and 2nd, there's major announcements coming. Okay, so 2 days for the sale, 2 days to close out the month, and then major announcements coming on the 1st and 2nd. So anyway, have a great night, everybody.
Happy birthday,
God bless
Cheryl,
you. Enjoy
Wayne,
Holy Week.
Allie, everybody.
Happy birthday
Everybody.
to all the birthday people. Bye, everybody.
Bye.